Believe me, you've never seen this done anywhere else. Never seen anybody put together a 4G Wi-Fi repeater system like the one that I've got going right now. Join me right now. I'm going to show you how we do Wi-Fi LTE repeating. Hey, what's up? Nick from We Can Explore It here with a segment I like to call How We Do It. And in this video, we're going to show you how we set up a 4G LTE Wi-Fi repeating system that can cover essentially this whole area, right? Way more area than a standard Wi-Fi system can cover. Okay, so let's start with the problem, right? We're in the Superior National Forest right now at my parents' cabin. Right here, cell signal, not very good. Now, the reason why most people's LTE repeating systems don't work is because they're thinking on just one track, right? They're pulling in LTE and they're trying to blast it back out. They're trying to repeat the signal. And what happens is they get a lot of feedback, so they can't really crank out the signal because it starts feeding back. And then they're like, oh, we gotta crank down the power. It just doesn't really work. So what we set up is a whole different way of doing it. We pull in the LTE signal. Instead of trying to blast out LTE signal, we blast it out over Wi-Fi, because pretty much everybody's cell phone can do cellular over Wi-Fi. So all you have to do is go into your phone, click a little box, and then you can make calls over Wi-Fi. So what makes sense, pull in a weak LTE signal and blast out a really strong Wi-Fi signal, essentially create your own tower. As you're driving down the highway and you see those cell towers off in the distance, you usually see these white boxes that are long and rectangular, and they go on all sides of the tower. And what those are called sector antennas. But did you know that you could actually get a sector antenna for Wi-Fi and blast your Wi-Fi out in a strong signal so that you can use your phone anywhere within like a quarter-mile distance? So here's what we gotta do. We gotta attach our antennas to our tower system. We then gotta hook the Mophie up to that tower, and then we're gonna give it some power, and then we should be good to go. I'm gonna start with the flagpole that I got from Harbor Freight. We're gonna mount our system up to the top of it. We're gonna build it, and then I'll show you how it works. I just wanted to give you a quick real-time update. There are a few things that have changed in this video as far as what I recommend for doing this build, right? So I just wanted to let you know I'm going to do an update at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around to the end. But for now, let's jump in and I'll show you how to build the coolest Wi-Fi tower you've ever seen. Okay, so now we're going to hook up the antennas onto the pole that's on the back of the camper, right? So this one here is the 4G LTE antenna, and this one has to be pointed in the direction of the tower. And I'll get into more of that later, okay? So we're gonna attach this one here, and then I'm picturing the Mophie device attaching right here, and then below that, we're gonna have the sector set up. You can always put this together, and then you could just, you know, loosen this up and then turn it, but you just wanna know that you're gonna want to rotate that sector so it's pointing in the direction that you're gonna be, all right? So let's go ahead and get this set up. All right, got everything mounted on the pole. This is essentially what it's gonna look like. All right, so now we're gonna hook the Mophie up to the Wi-Fi tower. But here in this video, we're just gonna hook up one of the antennas here, and we're not gonna do it at a 45 slant. We're gonna do it at a straight up and down. In order to do this, we're gonna take the Mophie, and you can see on the side where it says primary LTE antenna, you're gonna hook that in to the one that says primary, and that one's gonna be wired directly into the antenna. Now for this, because this is a 50 ohm antenna with an N-type connector, and so I have this little wire here on Amazon as well that you can get and pick up. Make sure you have the right stuff, okay? So that's the LTE side, and then on the bottom we have the Wi-Fi side. So I have these two wires right here that I made. Let me just show you. I scoured all around Amazon for this wire right here, and I could not find it. So what I ended up doing is making this wire. So if at the time of publishing this video, if I still cannot find where you can buy this wire, I will make this wire available to you. I will make these for you and test them and everything and have them for sale on our website, okay? So it's just these two wires that probably keeps the whole world from doing this type of setup, right? So just having these two wires will be a pretty big deal. So these hook up from the bottom two connectors on the Mophie over to the sector antenna. I'll hook this one up as well. So the only thing missing on this setup is that the Mophie is going to be out in the elements. I wasn't able to get to the store and get an enclosure yet. So if I keep this going, I'm going to set up an enclosure right here and just drill holes at the bottom and run my wires up through the bottom, and that way maybe get a little silicone on them or something, and then we can take this out and put it back into that enclosure so it's all sealed up, weather tight. All right, so the only thing we have to do now, I'm going to zip tie this to the tower, and then all we have to do is get some power to it and then put it up in the air, and then we should be good to go. And I'll show you just how good these antennas work. These are amazing, amazingly powerful antennas that should reach really far down into the property and hopefully down to the lake and get some good speeds. All right, so let's finish hooking this up, and then we'll get to testing. All right, we got the Mophie mounted, and let me just show you real quick what we've got. We got it mounted right on the pole. Got the LTE Mophie, and then we got the Wi-Fi mounted right below. So now all we have to do is get this thing power. All right, I got an extension here so that we can hook up the power. I have my portable battery pack set up right here, and so this provides some 12-volt power. Here's the cord that I made for it. I'm gonna hook in the extension, plug it in. Make sure we got a light, looks good. And then plug it in right at the Mophie. We got some lights. And I'm gonna raise it up one, okay? So we can get a good signal going. So we got the antenna pointing in that direction, was where I was getting the strongest signal. We got about 6 megabits down and 6 megabits up, which is pretty standard for around here. That's about the strongest signal I can get way out here. So not too bad, but let's go try it out. But let's make sure we're in the right spot. Turn it just a little bit. Okay, I got my other GoPro hooked up. Let me take the phone off so you can see. Get in there. Wi-Fi. We got Nick Ryzen. Okay, that's the one we're hooked up to right now. Nick Ryzen. So we're gonna head down towards the cabin, and this is kind of the spot where everybody hangs out right here. And so this would be a good spot to have Wi-Fi. If you check that out, we got full bars still, and then we'll run a speed test while we're doing this. So if you saw right by the tower, we got 6 down, 6 up, which is, like I said, pretty standard for up here. We're pretty far away from a tower. And so I'm expecting to see kind of the same as we get down here. Oh man, we actually got quite a bit better. So I think the Mophie sometimes takes a few minutes. All right, so we got 11.8 down here by the cabin, and we're about 6, right? So you can't see it anymore. It's behind the trees, right back there. Oh, we got 5.7. That's pretty good, right? So sometimes the Mophie takes a few minutes to set up the 2-band selection. Can't remember what the name of that was. Okay, anyway, so we're heading down to the lake. Here's the lake right here. Getting down, and as you can see, trees are getting pretty thick right here, but we still have a strong signal, and we got a special weather statement. We'll have to check that out. Still Nick Ryzen, strong signal right down here. We're gonna head down, all the way down. This is our second hangout spot right here down by the lake. So far, I saw it bounce down to 2 bars, but still a strong signal. Okay, so there's that 2 bars. I don't know if you can see that. All right, so we're Nick Ryzen down at 2 bars, and we're down here at the lake. It's about as far as we need to be right here on the dock. Otherwise, we're in the water. So still 2 bars. Let's run a speed test. I'll get back in the shade here. Speed test. Test it again. So we got 2 bars right up there. 69 milliseconds. All right. Yep. Thinking. Okay. So we still get 10, 11 megabits. This is very similar to what we saw up by the cabin. So it's kind of dropping down to 5, but still, you know, still a very decent speed for down here. 2 bars too. So that's still pretty good. So we ended up with 8, and then the upload still about 5 or 6. So I could be sitting down here with still a very strong Wi-Fi signal from all the way up at our camper. You can't see it at all, right? There's tons of trees. You can't see it. So it's definitely a sweet tower system. If there was line of sight, if there were no trees at all, it would probably go across the lake. And that, maybe I should set that up next year. Set it up right here, but I can't get you don't get a really good cell signal here. But if I was to set it up here, beam it across the lake, I bet you we can take a boat all the way across and still get a signal. That's how good, how strong those sector antennas are. So there you have it. So if you're interested in setting up something, having something like that in your arsenal, check out the description below. You'll see the link of the write-up that I did with all of this stuff. And like I said, if I can't find those wires somewhere in Amazon, I will make them and make them available for you on our website, all right? So be sure to check that out. Everybody, we're about to go golfing. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, because this is the kind of cool stuff that we do, right? So we love to travel, we love to do, you know, around the home type stuff, and I love to mess around with all this Wi-Fi, solar type of stuff. And if you are subscribed to our channel, you get the coolest stuff before anybody else, right? Just watch. I set this up, give it about a month, everybody else will be setting up their videos about how to do this too, right? So if you want to be the first one to know, be sure to subscribe, click that bell as well, and you'll be the first one to know when we drop these type of videos, so you can get Wi-Fi like this anywhere you're at. Thanks so much, talk to you soon, bye. As I was editing this video, I was kind of embarrassed because I forgot to mention so many things, like even the actual devices that I use. This thing right here is a Ubiquiti Air Max high gain sector, right? I will leave model numbers and links and everything down in the description below. You can get one of these on Amazon. They run about 150 bucks. They're a little bit heavy, so I wouldn't recommend just leaving them on the mast and driving down the road or anything. You want to take it off and put it on anytime you need it. But that is that. And I wanted to give you a quick update because since I've shot this video, I actually did another video that you'll probably see in a few weeks of us pulling into a campground in the middle of Custer State Park and having absolutely no chance of getting any kind of internet at all. And what I ended up doing is climbing up a mountain, finding internet up there, beaming it down to us, and we were the only people in that whole campground that had some internet. And so after doing those two videos, I realized that the device that I was using wasn't the best device anymore, if that makes any sense. So I went out looking for a device that I think could work so much better for RVers and for people way out in the middle of nowhere. Learned a lot, and I wasn't able to find anything online, so I decided to put one together. This here is a prototype of a device that I'm building, and that's why I wanted to give you an update today. While I still recommend the Mophie because that's pretty much the best thing in its price point right now, there are other things out there from like Pepwave and everything, and if you're looking to spend $1,000 those are probably pretty good alternatives. But even those two devices have, to me, a critical flaw in getting good signal and good speed. That's why I went out to create my very own device. And so I wanted to just give you an update because I think what I'm going to do is change the channel a little bit. It's always been us, you know, going out, having adventures and exploring, but now I'm wanting to bring a brand new device to the public. I'm wanting to get this type of stuff into RVers' hands so that they have the best chance of getting the best signal and the best speed wherever they are. I'm super excited about it, and I thought, what better way to show that journey than to display it here in our channel. So I don't have all the full details yet. Those will be coming as I go. And like I said, this is one of my prototypes. I'm looking to have like 3 going here in the next few weeks. And I want to get out there. I want to test them. I want to do stuff like this. With my background, I own a technology company. I'm a computer programmer. I understand these things. I love working with them. I love LTE. I've been learning so much about the modems and all of that stuff. And all the antennas and different things, they all come from China, but they are so massively different. And they work, some work really well, and some work just not well at all. And so when looking on Amazon, we really have no clue what ones are good and what ones are just no good. That's what I've been learning, and I want to share that all with you. So I wanted to give you this update. We're going to drop some more videos of us cruising around, doing our summertime stuff, and then I want to make sure you see that video of me beaming things from the mountain. And right after that, I'm going to start jumping into showing you the ins and outs of putting together a brand new product, bringing it to market, testing it, figuring out all that type of stuff. So if this is something that's interesting to you, be sure to subscribe, be sure to click that bell, and if it's really interesting to you, let me know your thoughts. Just jump down in the comments below and say, dude, I'm interested, or Nick, I'm in, or whatever. Just drop me a message and let me know what your thoughts are, because I know a lot of people, just by talking to a lot of people in campgrounds and everything, the question of what do you use for internet, it comes up just about every time. So anyway, I want to invite you on this journey. Come along with us. I'd love to have you along. I'd love to have you share any kind of thoughts you have, and just see it. I think it's going to be super, super cool, and I'm excited to have my kids help me with it. I'm excited to test it all out, and I'm excited to get it out in your hands, because this thing just, even how it works right now, I'm just super excited about it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. If you have any questions on this or what I'm doing, what I'm working on, even technical specs, if you're like, dude, does it have this? Drop them in the comments below. I'll be glad to talk with you. If you just want to say hi, please say hi below. I'd love to say hi with you as well. Thanks so much. Hope you're having a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.